It was a busy afternoon at McDonald's, the kind of place where laughter from children, the smell of fries, and the hum of conversations mixed into a background that felt almost ordinary. But that day, nothing was ordinary. Because sitting at one of the corner tables was a girl, maybe 16 or 17, in a wheelchair. Her hands gripped the wheels with effort as she tried to move her tray closer, her eyes quietly scanning the room, not wanting to disturb anyone. She was new in town, and everything about her body language showed it: nervous glances, hesitant movements, the kind of silence that spoke louder than words. Across the room, a group of boys in branded jackets and flashy sneakers sat, laughing louder than necessary. One of them stood out: Daniel. The rich boy. The kind of kid who thought money bought respect. He had the latest iPhone, wore designer clothes, and drove a car that most adults couldn't even afford. Daniel thrived on attention, and when his eyes landed on the girl in the wheelchair, he smirked. "Look, guys," he said loud enough for everyone to hear, "even McDonald's has VIP parking inside now." His friends burst into laughter, while the girl froze, her fingers tightening around the edge of her tray. She tried to ignore him, lowering her gaze, wishing she could just disappear. But Daniel wasn't done. He got up, swaggering toward her, his arrogance dripping with every step. "So, what happened? Couldn't handle walking like the rest of us? Or did you just want to roll in style?" His words stung the air like knives. A few people glanced over, uncomfortable, but no one said a word. The girl's lips trembled, but she stayed silent. Her eyes filled with a mixture of pain and something deeper: humiliation. It was in that moment, when the room felt heavy with the cruelty of one boy's laughter, that the door opened. A tall man stepped in, dressed casually in jeans and a jacket, but his presence shifted the atmosphere instantly. He wasn't just any man, he carried himself with the quiet authority of someone who had seen battles far greater than the petty cruelty in front of him. On his cap was an unmistakable insignia, the emblem of the United States Air Force. His name was Captain Reynolds, though no one there knew it yet. The officer walked to the counter, but before placing his order, his eyes locked on the scene unfolding at the corner. He saw the wheelchair. He saw the girl's trembling hands. He saw the boy's smirk. And in a voice that carried calm, power, and command all at once, he spoke: "That's enough." The entire restaurant fell silent. Daniel froze, caught off guard. "Excuse me," he muttered, trying to laugh it off. The officer walked closer, his boots firm against the tiled floor. "I said, that's enough," he repeated, his gaze piercing through Daniel like steel. "You think mocking her makes you strong? Let me tell you something, son. Strength isn't in tearing people down, it's in lifting them up. You see her wheelchair? That doesn't make her weak. That makes her a fighter. You don't know her story. You don't know what battles she's already won just to sit here today." The girl's eyes widened, a tear slipping down her cheek. Not from sadness this time, but from the weight of someone finally standing up for her. The officer turned to her gently, lowering his tone. "Miss, you don't owe anyone here an explanation. You've got more courage in your silence than some people will ever have in a lifetime." Daniel's friends shifted uncomfortably. The laughter was gone. Their smirks faded. But Captain Reynolds wasn't finished. He stepped closer to Daniel, his voice steady but cutting. "I've served this country for 15 years. I've flown missions where lives depended on every choice I made. Do you know who inspires us the most when we wear that uniform? People like her. People who face challenges every single day and don't quit. You mock her. You mock every veteran, every survivor, every fighter who's ever refused to give up." Daniel's face turned pale. For once, he had no comeback. His arrogance shrank in the shadow of the officer's words. His hands, once confidently shoved in his pockets, now trembled slightly as the reality of his cruelty sunk in. The room stayed silent, everyone hanging on to the weight of the moment. Then, slowly, Captain Reynolds placed a hand on the girl's shoulder. "You keep your head high," he said softly. "Don't ever let people like him define your worth. You're stronger than you know." The girl smiled weakly through her tears, nodding. For the first time since she had rolled into McDonald's, she felt seen. Daniel muttered something under his breath and slinked back to his table, his friends avoiding eye contact. The officer finally ordered his meal, but the respect in the room had shifted completely. People whispered, not about the girl's wheelchair, but about the bravery it took for her to sit there in the first place, and about the man who reminded them all what true strength really looked like. As the officer sat across from the girl, sharing quiet words that made her smile, the moment became something bigger than just a scene in a restaurant. It was a lesson, a reminder, that kindness is power, that respect costs nothing, and that real heroes don't always wear capes, they sometimes walk into McDonald's on an ordinary afternoon and change everything. Viewers, if this moment touched your heart, don't just leave with the story, carry it with you. Remember that behind every face you see, there's a battle you don't know about. And if you believe the world needs more courage, more kindness, and more voices that stand against cruelty, then like this video, share it with someone, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us all of what truly matters. Because in the end, it's not about the rich boy who mocked. It's about the girl in the wheelchair who kept her dignity. It's about the officer who stood up. And it's about us, choosing, every day, to be the ones who make the difference.